Good morning, and wherever you are, hope you're healthy, happy, staying safe, and taking care of yourself and your family members. Today, I just wanted to share with you about the basic things you need to know as a parent for your children so they don't become adults with posture problems. That would be typically your neck pain, upper back pain, headaches, rounded shoulder, lack of energy, poor concentration, lack of cognitive skills. So here's a problem that every parent should know. Sometimes we have no idea how bad your posture is, and it's bigger than what you think. So even though you see Johnny or Mary that they're slouching and they're like, oh my God, yes, he's slouching or she's slouching, that is almost as bad as saying my son or my daughter has bad breath and oh yeah, they have bad breath. So this is not a problem that you can ignore. This is a signal from your body in need of health. If you have stomach cramps, it's your body saying that your digestive system is not doing well. When you have poor posture, it's the first sign of a spinal degenerative joint disease, also known as osteoarthritis, in the later years of life. Don't let your children become a victim in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's going to cost you a lot more, and it's going to hurt them a lot more. So let's save our children, and so let's save the future of our planet. So here's the harmful effects of bad posture in children. Typically, if you have your child complaining of, I'm too tired, what do you want to do? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. If you notice that the child is not active, energetic, then you know the musculoskeletal system is taxing their energy level. Unfortunately, this could cause neck pain, upper back pain, joint pains. It is very easy as a parent to think that, oh, these are just growing problems. But if they are frequent enough and they follow the signs and the symptoms match each other, then there is an underlying problem which could easily be prevented if it's addressed at the beginning. Now, before we look at your children, why don't you take a look at yourself? Do you tend to carry your weight on one side? Is one shoulder higher than the other? Does your pants, if you know, as a guy or a girl, or does your skirt or does your clothing at the end of the day start shifting on your body, being out of alignment? That means your entire spinal column, pelvis, maybe hip, maybe knee, maybe ankles, everything is out of alignment. And this problem is indicated by little signs that you can identify. In children, most of us are doing homeschooling, or some kids are already out of school. So backpack is not something they're carrying right now, but what they are doing, they're constantly on their smart devices, whether it's iPads, iPhones, games, or sitting poorly on a couch on their beanie bags. Make sure that their posture is checked, because you can prevent a lot of problems. Why is posture so important? It's not the fact that it's actually looks bad. It's not the fact that it looks like there's some kind of an underlying problem going on. Your spinal column is the highway to heaven. It's an information system highway. All the nerves that connect the brain to all the functions of the body run through the spinal column, and they exit out of there. Any shift in this tunnel can affect the normal physiological and neurophysiological effect and movement of the information from your brain to the organ. In more holistic medicine, we call this the body becomes in a state of dis-ease, which means that it's not easily functioning, it's not easily moving, it's not easily performing. And eventually, that dis-ease becomes a disease. So don't be surprised that some of your systemic problems are caused and may have an underlying problem back related to their spine. So let me give you an example. Forward head carriage and using your cell phone can cause forward head carriage. The nerves that exit out of your neck area, they feed off to your eyes, throat, chest, lungs, heart, just to name the top few. Most people with forward head carriage tend to have forward jaw or tend to have lack of oxygenation to the body. Lack of oxygenation means that your lungs are not breathing properly. In elderly, this is mostly seen as causing respiratory issues, heart blood pressure problems that are related to the cardiovascular system. Digestive tract, people who sit down quite often, they tend to have digestive problems, not specifically because the organ, the intestine, the esophagus, the stomach, the upper GI or the lower GI are abnormal, because the nerve supply to your system, your digestive system, is being interrupted, so the body cannot function at its 100% or at the normal, easy function. So let's move on from neurology into body chemistry. Your brain and your body are depleted. So when your body is slouching, your energy is being exhausted and taxed in performing. So the muscles are overloading. And then when your organs are not functioning, also affects your chemical balance. Reaching out for high sugar chemicals in the afternoon or midday is going to put you in a repetitive poor cycle. Sitting upright, having a better posture, exercising reduces your craving because your body has more energy. Therefore, you don't feel the need to reach out for that Red Bull or that Monster, which is absolutely disastrous for your entire neurological nervous system and their cells. So going back to the analogy of your spinal column being the information superhighway, let me give you a more simpler analogy. Your nervous system that runs through your spine is almost like water hose. It supplies nutrients and supplies energy in the form of water to every different parts of this garden. So imagine your body has different gardens, you know, your heart, your lung, your stomach, your muscles, your joints. If this nerve supply is not supplied to the organ, or if the water is not going to the garden, eventually it will wither away. That is the most simplest analogy I could provide for you. So same thing happens to your child's brain. If the nervous system is not properly functioning, it will affect the vital organs that should be working to start working correctly. So you get sucked into this symptom care of organ problems where you could really utilize basic foundation of healthy living to get yourself into vivacious, lively, beautiful health and wellness. Does that look familiar to you, or have you seen friends or family or kids that look like that? If that's how it starts at the young age, it will develop into scoliosis, and scoliosis develops into early degenerative arthritis. Let me share something with you. Degenerative means wear and tear and rotting away. Arthro means joint. Itis means inflammation. So if you have degenerative arthritis, that means that the joints start wearing and tearing to a point that it will cause swelling and inflammation in the joints. Now, degenerative arthritis is also known as osteoarthritis, and osteo means bone. Other disc problem, it will affect, if the joints are being affected, it will affect whatever is in between them, right? So for knees, it would be synovial joint fluid, the meniscus. For the spine, it would be your discs. Early problems such as Schumann's disease, lack of balance and coordination. So if you have children that are athletes or they're into any kind of sports that they love and they aspire to, their poor posture and rounded shoulder will affect their balance. So don't be surprised if they look like they're a bit clumsy. And if they are, get them checked. Check their postures yourself, which we will teach you on the next webinar. And you don't want them to be shorter, you want them to grow to be tall and healthy and strong. So take a minute to stop and think about the 3 major warning signs that your child is starting to develop. If they got these 3 signs, please reach out to us. Let me see what we can do before you go into the doctors and what you can do at home. If they're slouching, and slouching would be rounded back, rounded forward shoulders, and forward head carriage. Forward head carriage basically means that your earlobe is in front of your shoulder over an inch. If they can't hold the proper sitting posture more than 10 seconds, or in a young child, more than 30 seconds. If you notice that one shoulder is higher than the other, or one hip is higher than the other, or if they lay on the floor and you check they tap their feet together and you check their feet, one leg is shorter than the other by over an inch. These are indicators. So please pay attention to them, because you could save your child and yourself from spending your time in the doctor's office. So I'd rather you utilize those appointments for fun things. Don't contribute to the problem by ignoring your own posture. I know I'm calling you out. So, and I know some of you are starting to sit up straight just by that. And I'm good for you. It's a start. So everything starts at home. Let's realize that you are the one, the mentor that every child looks at. So what you do is what they do. This is a funny thing. One of our staff members decided to throw that in there, because she and her daughter have the same relationship, and totally follows mom's footstep. And a lot of boys follow their father's footsteps. So molding a good posture to your kids is essential. Start with yourself, and then let them see and learn how that can affect their overall health. Almost everyone has a phone. So one of the things you can do is bring your phone to your eye level. By just that mere change, you're going to be making a huge difference. So let me tell you why. An average size of your head weighs about 10 to 15 pounds, right? Here we have 10 to 12 pounds. Now, imagine a bowling ball, that you're holding a bowling ball. Would you hold a bowling ball with a straight wrist, or would you hold it with a bent wrist? Which one is easier? Obviously, holding it with a bent wrist, right? So imagine that wrist that's curved, that's your neck, and that's how important the curve of your spine is. As you move the bowling ball into a straight wrist, or even bring it forward, that's the amount of pressure that's being applied to the muscles of your neck, upper back. So for every 1 inch forward head position, you add an extra 10 to 15 pounds of overload. For ladies who are listening to this webinar, if you're beginning to develop a hump in the back of your neck, that's because you are losing the proper curve in your neck. And by correcting the position of that, you can reduce the damaging effect. The reason being is the longest spinous process, or an extension of a vertebra in the body, is around your C7T1, which is the transition between your neck and your upper back. And that's where that fatty cells are being developed. When your head is forward, that spinous process is protruded outwards. The body sees that as a signal of damage, so immediately starts packing fatty tissue, or what we know as adipose tissue, or underneath your skin to protect that bone. If you fix your neck and your upper back and your posture, you reduce the damaging effect. And would it go away? It depends on your diligence and your persistence. In some cases, we have. But how bad it is, I don't know, because I haven't seen your x-rays and I haven't examined you. But what I can tell you is by changing the position of your posture, you will eliminate the damaging effect. Now, some of us are working at home. So here's a little tidbits for you. Keeping a good working posture, especially if you wear a posture support during working hours, whether you're an adult or you're a child, changing your posture is going to be a huge difference in your overall wellness. And it can start without you doing anything, just fixing your workstation. This webinar and these PowerPoints are available on my website. You can access them anytime, and you can reach out to us anytime. We'd be happy to take care of you. My team and I are here to support you getting through this hard times and these transitional period. Some of us who are still driving or who are driving, keeping a proper posture while you're driving is extremely important, because that accumulative damages will have an effect. Now, why is driving more damaging than just sitting at your desk? The vibration the vibration of the car and oscillation of the car over the asphalt aggravates and accelerates the damaging effects to your joints, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and especially your spine. So keeping a good posture while you're driving has 10 times more effect, and not having a good posture will affect you 10 times more. So for those of you who know someone who works as an Uber, Lyft, truck driver, delivery for UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, or any other logistics or fulfillment centers that deliver, please share this particular slide with them, because we could be saving lives and playing it forward to help others have a healthier life. And let's go back to the simplest way that we can change our posture. The way you walk makes a huge difference on that, how the body works. If you're walking slumped over, obviously your core is not active, so you might get a little pouchy belly. Your head is forward, so you aggravate that forward head carriage. And if you're walking too far backwards, you're actually compressing the lumbar spine, L5, S1, disc area, which feeds up to your reproductive organs. So for women, we're looking at your uterus, and it affects your hips, affects your knees, and affects your ankles. Now, having a good posture when you're walking is essential. How do you know what a good posture is? Make sure that your head is on top of your shoulders and your shoulders are retracted. So if you draw a straight line from your earlobe to the middle of your shoulder, down to your side hip, by your outer part of your knee joint, down to your ankle, that should be a straight line. So when you're walking, here's a little trick. Lift up your chin so it's almost parallel to the ground that you're walking. And you can apply the same thing when you're on a treadmill. So for those of you who use the treadmill on a 3.5 or above walking incline, make sure your chin is exactly parallel to the incline of that treadmill. Keep your core muscles active when you're walking. Contract your abdominals as you're walking. For 10 steps, relax your abdominals. Contracting and relaxing your abdominals during your walking is almost like sit-up. You can even teach your kids this, and it's a fun way to hack the nervous system to get maximum results with your workout. So it's you're walking and doing abdominal crunches at the same time. And for those of you who have an interest in having a better uterus and reproductive organs, by contracting, applying Kegel exercises when you're walking, you actually revitalize your reproductive organs. And that's for men and for women. So keep your posture upright and look up when you're walking. There's nothing on the floor. So how you talk about your kids about good posture? Do you ever find yourself to be like a broken record to your kids? I will share that. I am sometimes. I can always hear it and see it right now. My daughter rolls her eyes and says, okay, mom, okay, everything's about posture, okay. So what's the best way to talk to them? Just posture makes them look better. Look smart. It makes them look smarter. It's their first impression. They're more attractive when they have good posture, and they smile better. You can even talk to them about chakras if you're interested. If you have that language with your children, keeping their chakras, opening up their heart, opening up their throat chakra, especially in order for them to express themselves and have the ability and the power. For girls, you really want to install that, because scoliosis is more prominent in girls than boys, especially in the growing ages of teenagehood. So talking to your daughters about their posture and how they look and their beauty may be more of a factor of importance to them at this time than overall health, because at this age they think they're invincible. And demonstrating it by you applying this technique. So talking about to a younger generation, you've never seen a superhero with a poor posture. So let's save the day by being in the best that you can be and waking up the superhero in you and in them. So one of the things that I promote is having a good posture. So I have a website, it's called Backstew.com, and the name BAX-U came from a survey of 78 people, and we decided, what do we do that has something that's simple and talks to people about their back? So it simply backs you up, and it stands and it's pronounced BAX-U. So the thing that it does is a posture support, and we took into account everything that other products do not offer. So you're not wasting your time, and I'm not wasting my reputation. Other posture products that you see on Amazon and other platforms, if you see that, look at the guy in the white t-shirt. The area that compresses the armpit is the area that affects the nerves and arteries that supply to your arm. We call them brachial plexus. If that area is compressed, you will get weakness in your fingers, and you might get numbness and tingling in your fingers. It might be misdiagnosed as carpal tunnel syndrome, whereas your arms and that posture support compresses your arteries. So it totally defies the whole purpose of giving you a better posture. You're hurting your nerves and your arteries, and you're causing neurological problems by wearing a product that is not up to par. The BAX-U posture support does not compress your armpit. It actually stays away from that, because I, as a chiropractor, have to stand by keeping you healthy. And for that very reason, it took us 2 years to figure out exactly what would be the proper curve to not compress the armpit in men and women, even though our bodies are morphologically different. Also, it has to be adjustable, meaning that it has a dial system to gradually move your body back into proper posture. Another factor, it cannot be made of harsh material that causes shaving of your skin. So it's not shaving and it's not pinching your skin. And most importantly, we all want to look good. So BAX-U posture support can be worn under your clothes, and it will not be seen because it's not big, it's not bulky, and it's not unattractive. Now, because it's designed by a doctor, and because it's approved by Flex Spending Account and Health Savings Account, we had to go through rigorous studies with University of Michigan, testing to see, does this really work? Does it really have an effect on your body? And we were able to document about 50% reduction of muscle overload on the upper back, neck, and mid-back area. This is what makes BAX-U different. It simply backs you up. It's affordable, covered by your Flex Spending Account, researched by universities in the United States of America, and also it is covered under your health and savings account as a corporate wellness device. Whether you have a stand desk or whether you have a sit desk, we can protect your posture by keeping your shoulders upright. So that was my little spiel, and I'm doing this because I care about people. I'd rather see you healthy and happy and be on a wellness program, or instead of continuously be on acute care. My name is Dr. Romina Ghassemi. We're going to meet you every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to deliver health and wellness. The next one is going to be, how do you do what I do at work in detecting poor posture for yourself, for your children, for your loved one, whether it's children, spouses, friends, and parents. There's still hope, and there's still ways to do things at home. So save your copays and save your time. meet us up here and let me share the knowledge and experience I have gained over the past 25 years as a clinician, as a mother, and as a friend. Wishing you a wonderful day.